Y'all quick to get with these men that don't have their own car, they don't have a job, they don't have a place, but you got all those things, but he don't have those things. And then you wonder why he don't respect you.
What's good, YouTube? How's everyone doing? Welcome back to my channel and welcome back to yet another reaction video. If you're new here for the first time, my name is TMR, and since you clicked on this video, you might as well subscribe to this YouTube channel, and please make sure you click the notification bell and make sure you give me a big thumbs up and also leave your comments down below. What's good, YouTube? How's everyone doing? Welcome back, TMR gang, and welcome back to the Car Chronicles, everybody. Good morning, good morning. How y'all feeling today? I hope you guys are feeling great and doing all right. If you're feeling good this morning, sis, drop it down below and say, TMR, I am feeling good. Make sure you put the teacup in there and say, TMR, I am feeling great, sis. I am blessed and highly favored. I know that's right, sis. I know what you're talking about. So y'all, welcome back to another reaction video. Thank you so much for tuning in. And before we get started with this reaction, y'all, I want to let you know the lashes are back, honey. She is back up and popping. If you don't know what I'm talking about, this latest upload, y'all, honey, I was looking like Blank Man in the face, okay? It was weird, y'all, how I got my face got so used to wearing the lashes, and I'm a person that really wasn't wearing lashes like that. Like, I would wear them, but I would wear them from time to time, and I'm like, ooh, sis. I wear the individuals and I wear the strips as well. Today I have on the strips because it was just, I didn't have time to go sit in shop. So I said, you know what, let me go put some strips on. But honey, yes, the lashes are back, honey. Baby. They was, y'all, I was looking like Blank Man. If you don't know what I'm talking about, sis, go watch my last video, honey. You're going to be like, sis, what? Sis, what happened? All right, y'all, so let's get on with this reaction video. So, we're talking about Nia Riley's interview with Tasha K, okay? On Tasha K's podcast, I believe it's called Wine Cellar, okay? And, I will say this, Tasha K has a nice little setup down there. I remember when she first started introducing her podcast, she had Storm Monroe on there hosting with her, but I guess sis is deciding to do Dolo solo. And she did say that she doesn't have the wine racks and the wine bottles yet. They are on their way, but she has a really good setup. Now, the audio was a little off, okay, but I think they're gonna be working on that. You know, at the end of the day, y'all, you know, we're not lights, camera, actions over here. Everybody is not a Steven Spielberg, but you know, I get a sis A for effort, okay? So that's something I want to do, you guys. One day I want to do a podcast. I really do. I'm really interested in doing a podcast and just talk about things that us as women that we can relate to. Y'all let me know what y'all think about that. Y'all think TMR would do well with a podcast? Y'all let me know. Drop it down below. All right, so we're gonna get on and we're gonna discuss Nia Riley and Soulja Boy relationship. So Nia, after a few years, has finally came out to discuss the domestic violence that she experienced while she was dating Soulja Boy. Now, if you're not familiar with Nia Riley is the stepdaughter of Teddy Riley, okay? And y'all, I didn't know that. I thought that was his biological daughter, but I believe he raised her, so she has his last name. So I mean, you know, that's her daddy, okay? The man raised her, and she calls him dad, and she has his last name. So okay, that's who you are to me. So she was talking about the whole relationship and their ups and downs. So if you don't know, Nia and Soulja Boy were on Love and Hip Hop Hollywood. Love and Hip Hop Hollywood. And y'all, out of all the Love and Hip Hop franchises, Hollywood was my least favorite. I wasn't really, Hollywood, I wasn't really feeling them. But I did watch it, and I do remember watching when Soulja Boy and Nia were on there. Obviously, both of them were young, but Soulja Boy, y'all, you know, every time I think about him, all I think about is you.
that's what I think about. I think of child, like little boy. And so based off what Nia stated in her interview with Tasha K, he was a little boy with a temper tantrum. Okay, he had a lot of issues, and he took them out on Nia. Now, Nia did say that he was very good to her daughter. So if you guys don't know, Nia Riley has a child from a previous relationship. Soulja Boy is not the father of that child. She has a little girl, but she said he was very good with her daughter. Okay, she said when the domestic violence took place, the child wasn't around when that happened. So I didn't know this until the interview that Nia and Soulja Boy was on Marriage Boot Camp. Okay, and I did go and search the clip that she talked about. There was a situation in one of the episodes of Marriage Boot Camp where her and Soulja Boy were arguing, and they were sleeping, I guess, there were two different beds, and he was mad because she wasn't talking to him. She was on the phone, basically ignoring him, and she was like, just leave me alone, stop talking to me. And the next thing you know, y'all, Soulja Boy jumped out of his bed, jumped onto the bed she was laying on, and started attacking the girl. She started screaming and hollering, people coming from everywhere, the camera crew, the producers, other occupants of the home. Y'all, was a whole debacle. So I watched that. It's like a 2-minute clip. If you guys are curious to actually see it, go search it and you'll find it. Just search it, Marriage Boot Camp Soulja Boy, and you'll see the clip. But, a lot of people, Nia, for the most part, was very quiet. I forgot about Nia. I really did. I forgot about Nia. Because, although, her dad is Teddy Riley, Nia pretty much played the back seat to social media. She was very quiet, and she wasn't vocal about the abuse that she sustained in the relationship with Soulja Boy. And if you know anything, here recently another woman has came out speaking of the violence that Soulja Boy has alleged violence that Soulja Boy has put on her or did to her, and I guess that prompted Nia to speak as well. Okay, and she talked a lot about the violence that she experienced with Soulja Boy and his, she basically said that she feels like it's some mental health issues, and a lot of, from what she stated, people were, questioning, like, why are you just not speaking, and like she stated, I needed time to heal. I needed to really process what I went through and why did I go through it. And now I'm here speaking on it because I'm in a healthy place. I haven't spoke to him in a very long time. Nia stated she's in another relationship, and it appears to be a healthy relationship. Tasha K asked Nia, was she in love? And she said, I would say I am. So it sounds like sis has moved on, and that's great. Because y'all, we find a lot of times, and when we get into these abusive relationships, we find a lot of times that we carry that baggage from one, and we will move on to another one. And we do that a lot as women. We do that a lot when we don't give our bodies time to heal, our bodies, our minds, and our emotional state. We don't give it time to heal because we feel like to jump into another relationship will basically masquerade what went on in a previous relationship, and a lot of times it doesn't, because what potentially happens is you bring that wall that you have put up, you bring it into that new relationship, and the person that has nothing to do with what you went through in a previous relationship tends to have to endure all the pain and anguish that you went through. A lot of times we deal with not being able to trust because what we went through in other relationships. And I am a person that believes in time and space. There has been times where I also am a survivor of a domestic violence situation, and I will say honestly that when I went through that relationship, once I was able to be liberated from that relationship, I did give myself a time to heal. Now, initially, I initially I was getting ready to jump into another relationship right after that relationship. And once I started dealing with that new relationship, I noticed that I had a lot of personal issues that I hadn't healed from. So I had to leave it alone. I had to step back from that relationship because I knew mentally I was not prepared to love someone or someone to love on me, because in my mind I felt like I did not love myself, right? Because of what I allowed myself to go through. And unfortunately, y'all, that happens. You know, people want to say, well, why did you stay? Why did you stay? And what Nia stated in her reasoning for staying is because she felt like Soulja Boy didn't have anybody. He didn't have any family. He had a very strained relationship with his mother, and she felt like she was the only one that he could depend on. I believe she said she met Soulja Boy when she was like 17, 18 years old. Nia is a little older than Soulja Boy. And, you know, y'all, we find that. We find ourselves as women, a lot of times in relationships, we find ourselves being the mother to these men. We take on the mother role. And obviously, y'all, that's not what we need to do. When you're in a relationship with a man, you need to be that, just his partner, not his mother, you know. And if you know anything about the movie Baby Boy, that's a prime example. You find in the movie Baby Boy that the female character, which played with Taraji P and Tyrese, you found that, you know, when it was time for her to go to work, Tyrese would drop Taraji off at work and keep her car all day. And while he was keeping her car, he was, you know, playing in the streets with other women, late picking her up. But and you know, now listen to what I just said. He was dropping her off at work, and he kept in the streets all day. He wasn't even watching their son together, because if you watch the movie Baby Boy, Taraji and Tyrese had a son together. He wasn't even watching the baby. The baby was at daycare, and he was in the streets, and he wasn't even working. So for whatever reason, you know, Taraji felt like she needed to babysit her car, but not babysit her son. Y'all women, we do stuff like that, you know. And it's unfortunate that we feel like that we have to be mothers to these men, but that's what happened when you allow a man to come in your life that's not complimenting you, that's not bringing anything to the table. And you know, we feel like, you know, us as black women with these black men, because, you know, it always said how we try to oppress the black man and we demasculate our black men. And I don't think we try to do that intentionally, but my personal feeling from my own experience, when you get yourself with a person that is not as equally yoked to you, then you find yourself bringing your level down to meet their level, you know. And it's unfortunate that a lot of women do that, because, and I feel, again, I can say this from my own experience, that comes a lot from self-esteem issues. And so you would say, what Nia Riley, you know, father being Teddy Riley, who, you know, one of the biggest producers of our time, you would think, well, dang, Nia got all this money, and, you know, or she's has access to all this money and fame, and, you know, rubbing elbows, you know, with the elite. Why would she, you know, bring herself to be with somebody like Soulja Boy? Well, you know, y'all, just money doesn't cure everything, right? Because at the end of the day, behind all that money, that's a real person. You know what I'm saying? So that's what people think. People feel like these celebrities are like immortal and they're perfect and they don't do any wrong. Y'all, they human just like us. They go through things just like we do. They go through pain, anguish, happiness, sadness, financial issues, you know, relationship issues. Y'all, they go through things just like we do. They're regular people. They just so happen to have a title which says celebrity, but behind that title, those are regular everyday people. So one thing I can say about Tasha K, now I've watched a few interviews of Tasha K. Tasha K, to me, and this is my opinion, she handled that interview very well. If you are a watcher of Tasha K, and if you watch some of her videos of her interviewing people, you notice Tasha K doesn't allow the people that she's interviewing to speak, or when they do speak, she cuts them off, right? I noticed in this interview, she did not do that. She allowed Nia to speak. And, you know, Nia had a story to tell. She went through what she went through because, again, she felt like Soulja Boy needed her. And instead of her feeling like he needed to get help, she felt like she was the help. And I guess based off that situation when they went into marriage boot camp, and that last incident was the straw that broke the camel back for her. I guess Nia really understood, like, this man doesn't respect me or love me. But what I found interesting, that one of the things that Nia stated in her interview is when, you know, we know it was true that Soulja Boy cheated on Nia a lot, and Nia said that was small to her. She said the cheating wasn't that big of a deal for her. It wasn't the deal breaker. And you know what, I kind of found that strange for her to say that, because I was thinking to myself, well, yeah, cheating would definitely be a deal breaker for me, because I really feel like when you cheat on someone, you don't respect them. And a lot of times when you deal with a person that's in a domestic violence situation, say for instance the man is causing domestic violence on the woman, it's because he does not respect her. And when you have a man that don't have a solid relationship with their mama, baby, I'm gonna tell you, that's a red flag. You steer clear. If you're dealing with a man that talks about his mama, belittles his mama, doesn't have a strong relationship with his mama, baby, you steer clear of a man like that. Like, y'all, that was a thing for me. If you didn't have a relationship with your mama, and I'm gonna be honest with you guys, the guy that I was with, that I was in a domestic violence situation with, now again, you guys, I didn't learn this till after I went through what I went through, but he did not have a good relationship with his mother. He talked to his mother really crazy. He cussed his mother. Like, I didn't notice till after I was in a relationship with him, and I found that very odd. I'm like, wow, you know. But to me, it's if you're dealing with a man that talked to his mama crazy, sis, how you think he gonna talk to you? How you think he gonna treat you? Because for a man, his mother is the first woman he loves, right? And if he doesn't respect his mama, girl, what you think he getting ready to do with you? Like, that right there is a telltale sign, you know. Even with brothers that don't have relationships with their sisters and putting their hands on their sisters, sis, you steer clear of somebody like that. You know, that's just my personal feeling. You guys let me know if your sentiments are the same. But it does sound like Nia is healing. She has healed. She's moved on. She, you know, sometimes, y'all, it's unfortunate, but sometimes we go through things in order to grow through things. So maybe Nia, it's unfortunate she had to go through that, but that now that she has went through that, she knows what to expect out of any man moving forward, and what she will and will not accept. And I'm praying Nia has realized, going through that situation with Soulja Boy, that says you do not need to be a mother to a man. You're not his mother. You his woman. This is two different total things. Your job is not you're not put on this earth to take care of a man, okay? A man is supposed to take care of a woman. Now, I'm not saying in a relationship that you all don't need to be equal partners, because you definitely do need to be equal partners, right? But a man should be the head of the household, you know? And when I say head of the household, the head honcho when it comes to providing. Now, we do understand there are a lot of relationships where the woman is making more money than the man. And that happens a lot, especially now with women, you know, with women being in prominent positions and stuff. And it's, you know, especially like with social media, you can have a woman who's on social media that has a really big presence and making a ton of money, and she's dealing with a guy that maybe is not as vocal on social media. So when you're dealing with a situation like that where the woman is making more money than the man, do you still allow the man to run the household? Essentially, yes. He is still the leader of the home. I feel like as long as he respects the fact that you out here hustling and you got that, you know, you hustling, you got that hustle hand, as long as he respects that, then you let him lead in the way he needs to lead, although you are the one that's the main breadwinner. You know, but not saying because you the main breadwinner, that don't mean he don't need to be out there getting his bread too, because he most definitely need to be out there getting his bread as well. Women, stop selling for these men that don't have jobs, y'all. I'm telling you, stop settling for these men who don't have jobs. Stop being so understanding, because I guarantee you guys, he would not be that understanding to you. Okay, if you meet a man and you tell him, oh, I'm not working right now, I'm in between, guess what, sis? He gonna get in between you and move around you and find him a woman that has a job and has a place. Y'all quick to get with these men that don't have their own car, they don't have a job, they don't have a place, but you got all those things, but he don't have those things. And then you wonder why he don't respect you. Well, since he don't respect you because you didn't demand it coming through the door. You call yourself reasoning with a person that you don't even know yet. You just met this man. He telling you coming through the door, you know, that he doesn't even have a job. He just lost his job. He out looking for a job. Well, when you find that job, then you can come re-find me. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I'm telling you, stand strong in that, because you don't need to be dealing with somebody that's not as equally as yoked as you. You know, he needs to bring just as much to the table if you are bringing, if not more. But even with saying that, you guys, as women, when we are manifesting the man that we want, y'all, we need to be what we're manifesting. And that's what B. Simone was talking about that day when she was talking about, you know, you want a man that makes money, but sis, your account is in a negative. Again, to me, what B. Simone was saying was she was speaking truth. It's just people didn't like the messenger. The message that she was giving, people didn't like who the messenger was, and that's why. But a lot of what B. Simone said was the truth. Like, sis, you're manifesting this perfect man. Well, sis, you need to be what you're manifesting. If you're not what you're manifesting, then what do you think you're going to get? If you get that man that has all these perfect things, sis, what are you bringing to the table in order to keep that momentum going with that man? I mean, y'all, that's a very legitimate question, and I hope you guys answer that down below. But at the end of the day, y'all, we all are a work in progress, you know. And I'm glad that Nia has really found some healing. You know, I don't really follow Soulja Boy like that, so I don't really know. I know, so to me, y'all, Soulja Boy is a goofy. Okay, he's just a goofy to me. But it's obvious this ninja got some issues. I think because Soulja Boy got money and fame at such a very young age, he grew up in the industry, and instead of him, he probably more than likely was looking up to men that he did not need to be looking up to. And it just made him feel some type of way. I guess it might have gave him superiority complex over women, you know. But it's unfortunate that Nia stayed as long as she did and endured what she endured. And it's unfortunate that a lot of women do that, you know. That's very unfortunate. But all I can say is, women, we have to know our self-worth. And I'm be honest with you guys, it took me a long time to realize what my self-worth was. You also have to be confident in who you are and what you are, how you look, how you feel. You just got to be confident. Confidence, I'm telling you guys, men are very attracted to confident women. And if you're not confident, you know, that's not an attractive quality not to be confident in who you are. Now, I will say this. Then a lot of people say, well, what about women who get plastic surgery? Are they not confident women? I wouldn't say that. I mean, at the end of the day, y'all, we all have certain things we want to change in our body, you know, like when we wear wigs and eyelashes and things like that. You know, obviously that's a feature that we want to change and want to enhance, you know. So again, that's a different subject for another day, y'all. We can do that for another Car Chronicles conversation. But if you guys have not checked out that video with Tasha K and Nia Riley, y'all really need to go check it out, because like I said, I felt sorry that girl went through what she went through for as long as she went through. Hopefully Soulja Boy has gotten hopefully Soulja Boy has gotten some help. Hopefully he's gotten some healing done. You know, so whenever he decides to date or marry or whatever he decides to do, that the next woman that he brings into his life, he treats the woman like the queen that she is. And that's another thing, you guys. We have to realize that we are queens, honey. We are beautiful creatures, y'all. We populate this earth with these beautiful babies that we produce. And we have to understand the power within ourselves. Not the power in your punana, sis, but the power within you. All right, y'all.
Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this Car Chronicles. If you have not yet subscribed to this YouTube channel and you enjoy these type of conversations, please make sure you subscribe to this YouTube channel. And please don't forget, sis, to boom, click that notification bell. So therefore, every time I put out a new video, you'll be the first to know it. Remember, you guys, sub what you love. Bye-bye.